Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you an update in Bitcoin. I did record this video, by the way, on Monday, April 28th, 2025. And I'll just jump right to this chart. It's the same chart throughout the entire video. This is a weekly bar chart that goes back to 2017, so some 8 years, maybe a little less. And in it, you can see I'm kind of backtracked just a little bit to show you back in November of 24, we pushed through, closed above a 5-year channel top that this week is at 83,832. Around the time we violated it, it was in the 81,600 area. After having closed above this 5-year channel structure, we were really in uncharted territory, having pushed to new highs months earlier. Anticipating then as our next big picture objective, this full A-B swing count. I call them the full count. In other words, taking the 21 high, November 21 high, subtracting the 22 low, and then adding to the 21 high, the distance between the two, and 100% swing to the upside. A minus B plus A, 122,433. That actually still remains a long-term objective. In the interim, we rallied up to January high of 109,192 and fell back to this zone of support. The former channel top that still exists at 83,832 and a rising 1/3 speed line projected off the November 22 low. 1/3 speed lines are trend defining line studies. As long as you continue closing at or above them, the long-term trend remains bullish. And that actually has been the case on both counts. We did slip and close just below the speed line several weeks ago, but not by a full 1% margin. And we have yet to close back below this channel top at 83,832. Despite the fact that we've broken it substantially over the last month and a half, 2 months, but we've not yet closed below it. In fact, I'll take a look at this chart and just sort of isolate it. I may zoom in this area in post-editing to show you that despite the fact that we've broken this area, now all of these sort of spikes below it were trade, tariff talks, tariff threats. This low one here was the announcement of 125% against China, 25% across the board, and then the rally was really sort of the reduction of that, or the pausing of those tariffs. And so we're still in the midst of the tariff issue. We're still into the 90-day period, and we'll just see where all that goes. But there has been a bit of a flight to quality here as gold has pushed to all-time highs. You've got a bit of a decoupling to some extent with Bitcoin and the stock market, although the stock market has rallied as well. So I'm not going to get too deep into that. Let's just stick with Bitcoin. 83,832, this former 5-year channel top. As long as we continue placing weekly settlements at or above it, the previous high from 109,192, or the all-time high, I should say, remains in reach in the coming weeks. And over the next 3 to 5 months, 122,433 still all remain in reach, an objective above 83,832. If we were to close below 83,832 at the end of any week, then we have just the opposite. In fact, I would anticipate this chart here. Now, there's the speed line at 85,730, but it really is a settlement below 83,832 in the coming weeks. And this formation is rising ever so gradually. Were we to close below it at the end of a week, I would expect continued price declines in Bitcoin into the low 50,000 area. I would consider this to be a probable 3 to 5 month process of continued price declines were we to close below 83,832. But this is our base of support, actually, and I'm going to show one last chart here and zoom in. And in fact, I could zoom in just a little bit better here and show that we did last week actually close above a 6-8 week descending channel top at 86,848. And once again, you have that long-term 5-year channel top at 83,832. I'm going to call this a narrowing zone of support, able to contain selling through the month of May, above which this extreme channel top at 102,058 is likely. I'm going to say over the next 1 to 3 weeks, possibly this week, 102,058 can absorb weekly buying pressures. We may even fall away from here back into what I would call the mid-80s within 3 to 5 weeks of testing 102,058. But because I'm still anticipating longer term this 122,433 as a completed objective following the settlement last November above the 5-year channel top at 83,832, I think there's a decent chance that over the next month or sooner we close above 102,058. And if it were this week, if we were to close this week above 102,058, dropping weekly, then I would expect our overall objective at 122,433 in as little as 3 to 5 weeks. With present volatility, this could also take the better part of 2 months. I do think that holding above 83,832, we still maintain a 3 to 5 month objective at 122,433. I think that pretty much rounds it out. I'm going to leave you with this image of Bitcoin, and that'll be that. I'll be back, I'm sure, next week with another update on Bitcoin. You have a great week.